Hey there guys, and welcome back to another episode of Alan's Collections Review. And today we have two humans pretending to be Ninja Turtles. One good and one that works for the forces of evil. I'm talking about Sack and Smash, guys. Let's begin! Neca TMNT Toon Line, Sack and Smash. Okay guys, let's begin by reviewing the outer box of Neca TMNT 1987 Toon Line, Sack and Smash. And here we have a 2-pack which I believe complements the Crooked Ninja Turtles and Rock Soldier. So I was waiting to review their leader as well, and the 5th turtle. That is Sack, the 5th turtle, guys. So here's the front of the box, and as you can see, this is a classic window box for NECA 2-packs. You can see green on top and yellow on the bottom. In the middle we have the figures themselves. We have Sack on the left and Smash on the right. And we can see some cool accessories here. Alternate heads, even an alternate head sculpt of Chrome Dome, guys. Now let's rotate this box. Here's the side of the box where you can see an artwork of Sack. And of course on the top we see the logo of the TMNT. Now here's the back of the box, guys. And on the right we have Sack, the 5th turtle, and Smash in a very cool artwork. And to the left we have the logo of the TMNT once again, and of course information about the turtles. And on the bottom we have other figures you can collect. We have Dirk Savage and Mona Lisa. We have the Neutrinos, and we have Toka and Razor, guys. Really cool. Now let's turn the box again and let's look at the right side of the box. So on this side we have a cool artwork of Smash. Now let's go back to the front of the box. And that's it, guys. That's the outer box for Sack and Smash. Now let's review the blister box, guys. Okay guys, here we have the blister box for Sack and Smash. And now we can really appreciate even more the figures. I really like the painting application in Sack, and of course we can see that Smash is a really big figure, and we can appreciate even more the accessories, a whole range of accessories that we have here. So I cannot wait to get these two figures out of the box and review them one by one, guys. Okay guys, here we have him, Sack, the 5th turtle, just as I remember him from the 1987 TMNT cartoon TV show. And of course, here he is in his vanilla pose. So let's check out the painting applications, the head sculpts and everything. Let's take a closer look at the head sculpt. And for me, what really stands out is that really cool blonde hair, guys. He's sporting quite a cool hairdo actually, and it also seems to share the same hairdo as Sonic the Hedgehog, haha. And then we have the face mask. It's a green face mask. He kinda looks like a rover. Next we have the red bandana, which is obviously imitating a fabric texture. In here there are some paint defects, as you can see. The skin color has bled into the face mask, unfortunately. And also, the black lines have bled into the nose. It does look a bit sloppy, guys. But the rest of the face looks really spot on. Moving into the torso, guys. It's a nice cool turtleneck shirt. No pun intended. He is the 5th turtle after all, guys. Anyways, it's a cool yellow shirt and black lines on the front, in the turtleneck, and on the sleeves. And if we turn him around, you can see the cell shading there. It's like a darker yellow tone. Now let's check out the pants. Zack is sporting a cool green cargo where you can see the bags on the front with painted black lines, as you can see. And on the waist we can see black painted lines. And then we have his awesome red and white boots with black lines. Very cool, guys. Now it's time to check the articulation for Zack, guys. Regarding the head sculpt, the head moves down, moves up quite nicely. It can move to the left and it can move to the right. So there's quite a nice head articulation there. It can even tilt, as you can see. Now let's check the torso articulation, guys. As you can see, the torso doesn't move, except it can move a little bit sideways. So you can move it a little bit to the left, but as I pointed out, I don't like to move these figures very much. And of course there's no ab crunch or anything like that because of the figure being quite small. Now let's check the arm articulation, guys. As you can see, it can move forward quite nicely. It can move backwards. The arm goes out as well. And as you can see, we have also a double jointed elbow articulation here. And on the hand we have, of course, wrist articulation. You can rotate the wrist all the way. It does have a swivel here, but it doesn't appear to move that much. And I don't want to force it. As I've said before, I don't like to force these figures. So that's the arm articulation, guys. And finally, let's check out the leg articulation, guys. And as you can see, the leg moves a little bit forward, not much. And it can move a little bit backwards, not much as well. It does go out a bit. And we do have a double jointed knee articulation here. As you can see, the knee can bend quite nicely. We don't have thigh cut or shin cut. Now for foot articulation, as you can see, the foot can go down a little bit and up a little bit. It seems to have a rock up, but as I said, I don't want to force it. I don't want to risk damaging this figure, so I won't try the rock up. Maybe in your figure you can try it. Maybe it does work. And that's it for Zack, guys. Now that we have reviewed the articulation, let's look at the accessories of Zack. Okay, guys, here we have the accessories for Zack. Of course, he appeared in various episodes, so it was obvious that NECA would give us quite a few accessories. So we will be discussing them one by one, of course. But let's start with the interchangeable hands, guys. First, we have this couple of open hands for greeting the turtles, giving a high five to the turtles. You can come up with many ideas with these open hands. Next, we have a couple of slightly open hands, and these are good for grabbing other accessories. You can grab the hockey stick, the turtle comms, the cable cord. So quite a few accessories that you can grab with these slightly open hands. And finally we have an extra right hand, which is slightly open as the one that we saw previously. So it's not bad to have an extra hand. I thought the difference was going to be in the swivel, but it has the same swivel up and down. Next we have this interchangeable head. Here we can display Zack without any face mask or bandanas, just his face all natural. Really nicely painted, kind of smiling face, really cool. and we can see some black lines painted on it, as you can see here, and of course the really cool hairdo. And we have this extra head sculpt to make different poses. Zack relaxing with the turtles in the turtle lair, for example, without having to wear the face mask. Next we have these cool goggles. And of course I like the painting application on this, with obviously light blue in the center, and of course yellow around it. And of course we have this white elastic band, which I'm sure is going to make things easier when trying it out on the figure. And these goggles were used in that first episode, the fifth turtle. That's where Zack first appeared in the TMNT cartoon show. And he used these goggles to track down the turtles. Next we have this hockey stick. This hockey stick looks simple but cool, painted in gray of course. A plain gray hockey stick. And this would be basically his primary weapon in order to fight, as his main weapon, I would say, is his brain and all his gadgets. He's like a Donatello with all this knowledge and the use of technology. Next we have these turtle comms, and in the first episode where he appeared, he manages to grab one of the turtle comms from Raphael, and here we have two turtle comms, one unopened and one opened. Next we have this cool backpack. It's Zack's backpack / junior detective kit with an attachable purple cable. This is quite important for Zack because it is thanks to these two items that he was able to thwart the plans of Shredder. So in the episode, Shredder was trying to raise the Technodrome from the Earth's core, as you remember, using the energy of the Capsidian crystals. He had the turtles trapped, and it was Zack who plugged the mic on his detective kit to a turtle communicator and created a powerful noise, like a feedback. And this feedback shattered the crystals and allowed the turtles to escape. So you can actually recreate this moment by joining one end of the purple cable to the bottom of the backpack, as we can see here. Nice, this purple cable clinges perfectly to the backpack. And you can join the other end of the cable to either of the turtle communicators. Let's try it with the unopened communicator. Here it is. Very nice, it joins really nicely. Let's try it with the opened communicator. And it joins in very nicely. And there you have it, guys. Zack secret weapon. And here we have some climbing gear with a nice rope here. Yellow rope, and of course this part to attach to a wall. So next we have this cool accessory, guys. It's from that episode where Shredder had hired a whole lot of enemies to beat the turtles. So those enemies included the Rat King, Slash, Leatherhead, Tempestra, Scumbag and Anthrax. And of course he also brought in Chrome Dome, from which this head comes from. Now here's the head, looks really nicely painted, it's quite heavy, and of course it's painted in white, and some bits are painted in light grey and some others in dark grey. And we can see these evil red eyes, very spooky red eyes, guys. And here is the hatch where you can open it and you place obviously the cable in order to hack Chrome Dome's head. Very cool. And at some point in the episode, it was Zack who hacked into Chrome Dome's head using this other accessory. So this item, guys, is called the Tortellini Emerald. The Great Boldini and Don Tortelli steals it while performing a magic trick. Zack and his friend Caitlin take back the emerald, which they later hide in the museum. To retrieve it, these thieves join forces with the Rat King and take the kids hostages. So I like the painting application, really cool blue and white lines, really nicely done. And this other item is from that cool episode as well. And this is another piece of crystal, it's a shard, really cool. And last but not least, I wanted to leave this piece of accessory for the end. It might be the most simple one, but it's, I think, what makes Zack be the fifth turtle. It's this garbage can lid shell, and I like the green color in this garbage lid shell. And some lines, as you can see, some black lines here. Obviously, as you can see, it has a flexible plastic belt. Of course, the plastic belt is brown. Nicely painted, guys. So when I try it on the figure, I'm sure it's going to slide really nicely. So that's, I think this is what makes him the fifth turtle. This garbage can lid shell, guys. So Zack is a very ingenious boy. He's a great admirer of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And his first appearance was in the episode The Fifth Turtle, an episode from the cartoon TMNT show. He is a very good ally to the turtles because of his ingenuity and his wit, and of course his technological knowledge. He manages to stop the Shredder, and more importantly, he manages to stop the Technodrome from rising again to the surface. And of course, he kept appearing in different episodes during the series. So very cool character, guys. Really nicely made. This is Zack, the fifth turtle. Okay, guys, here we have the leader of the Crooked Ninja Turtle gang, Smash himself in a vanilla pose. And it took me a while to get to this review, but I'm very happy that I will finally get the Crooked Ninja Turtle gang completed in my shelf. Smash surely commands attention as he is quite big and burly. So let's start with the head sculpt. NECA has really managed to do a great job by sculpting this trait from the character really well, as you can see. And of course, the red face mask is very cool. In comparison to Zack, there are no painting defects, no skin painting bleeding into the mask. This being a bigger figure, it was a bit easier to paint well the face mask. Moving on to the hair, he has got a brown hair color, almost maroon, and it has some black lines. Another difference between Zack and Smash are the teeth. As you can see here, you're able to see more details from the teeth. And you can count quite a few teeth here. The bigger the figure, the more details you are able to showcase. Now, moving into the torso. This is what the figure is mostly made of, as it covers part of the legs. And this is because Smash is wearing an uwagi, or a martial arts jacket, if you will. And you can see that the jacket goes all the way down, almost covering part of the upper legs. And this jacket contains features of the turtles, as Smash and his goons are imposters, obviously. So the tones here are dark green, also brown on the chest, and the obi belt is white. And if we move the figure and we watch closely on the back, there is cell shading with a darker green tone. And we can see the sculpted turtle shell in brown and yellow colors. Really cool. So, regarding the arms, this jacket has short sleeves and the arms are fairly exposed. You can see some red bands on the wrists and on the elbows here. And finally, the dark brown pants and the jikatabi, or ninja shoes if you will, have been very nicely sculpted. Now let's review the articulation for Smash, guys. And as you can see, the head moves a little bit down and a little bit up. and it moves nicely to the left and very nicely to the right. And that's it for head articulation for Smash, guys. Moving on to the torso articulation. If there is any kind of articulation, is hidden by the wagi jacket. But as you can see, it can move left quite nicely and it can move right quite nicely. I don't want to try 360, but that movement is at least very nice. Now let's check arm articulation. As you can see, the arm goes up, the arm goes backwards as well, and it's a bit stiff. It doesn't go out very much, at least I don't want to force it. It has a single jointed elbow. You can move a little bit, as you can see, and it has wrist articulation. You can move 360 degrees. And it appears to have a swivel on the hand, but as I said, I don't want to force it. So I would say there's a little bit of articulation on the arm, not so much. And finally, let's check leg articulation. And of course, because of the uwagi, I don't expect the leg to move much. But let's see. It can move a little bit forward. It can move a little bit backwards. And it can move a little bit out. And regarding the knee, we have a double jointed knee here. You can bend the knee quite nicely, as you can see. And finally, the foot articulation. You can move the foot down and you can move the foot up again. You have a little bit of a rocker there. Almost no rocker at all, but it's a little bit. So that's it. That's the articulation for Smash, guys. Let's check out his accessories. Okay, guys, here we have the accessories for Smash. And he doesn't bring as many accessories as Zack, but we will be reviewing every accessory in detail, starting with the chopping hands. And these remind me of that episode, Return of the Shredder, where Smash and his crooked Ninja Turtle gang break into a jewelry store. And the leader smashes the cash register with his chopping hands. As you can see, they are nicely painted and they have a swivel. You can move left and right. Next we have the fists, a couple of fists here. One fist for the left arm and one fist for the right arm. Then next we have the alternate head sculpt. And if I wasn't excited enough for the first head sculpt, where I was obviously very thrilled with the teeth, here we get the teeth again and the tongue. You can see the tongue very nicely painted and sculpted. And we get to see Smash without his face mask. And now you can see his eyebrows painted in brown. And of course his hair is basically the same, painted in brown with black lines. And of course his bulky cheeks, his bulky face is nicely detailed here. Now moving on to the weapons. We have an interesting assortment of weapons here. Let's see, we have a small blade. It's too small to be a wakizashi. So probably I would say it's a tanto. Next we have the pickaxe or the kama, which would be the ninja weapon, kama. You can also, if you want to have a different weapon using this one. I have here a piece of my keychain to show you. So you would need a longer chain, but this is a small representation of the kusarigama, guys. Moving on, here we have a very distinctive weapon. I'm not sure how to call it. It looks like a zigzag. Yuroi Toshi is probably the weapon that mostly gets close to this weapon of smash. So it's a zigzag knife or blade. I'm sure this weapon is very helpful in a battle. And lastly, we have this hatchet there, and that's pretty much it, guys. These are the accessories for Smash. Can't wait to try them on with the figure. Smash, an enemy of the TMNT. His first appearance was in The Return of the Shredder. In that episode, the Shredder no longer had command of the foot soldiers, so he needed an army. What better place than the Slash for Cash dojo? And Shredder, the idea was also to ruin the reputation of the TMNT by becoming impostors of the TMNT. So they would use an outfit similar to the TMNT and would commit crimes such as robbing a jewelry. So that is Smash, an enemy of the TMNT, an impostor, a leader, a bad instructor, a bad martial artist, since he wasn't able to persuade his students not to go with an evil character like Shredder. Thank you very much for watching. I have enjoyed reviewing this 2-pack, Zack, the fifth turtle, and Smash, the leader of the Crooked Ninja Turtle gang. So do not forget to leave a comment. Which character do you like more? Give a like and subscribe. And I'll see you next on another episode of Alan's Collection.